What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Inside of today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys a complete guide on your way to hopefully achieving Masters one day. I probably need to use the guide myself, but hopefully this season I will be able to get Masters. So after monthly finals, I will be live streaming again. So come Monday or Tuesday time, I will be live streaming over on YouTube and Twitch. So make sure to check that out. But yeah, we're going to be giving you guys a full guide on every single map, giving you some strategies and tips on whatever else. So before we get into today's video, make sure you're using the create code in the shop. Mine will be greatly appreciated. And without further ado, let's jump into today's video. Alright guys, so starting off with bounties. So with this new Power League season, there's only 5 modes. Siege has been removed, and there's only 3 maps per mode. So it's a little bit easier to remember the maps and the best brawlers and compositions and whatever else, which I kind of do like, but at the same time, it might be a little bit draining towards the end of the season, just playing the same repetitive maps. But it's kind of good for a guide. You don't really have to look at too much. So first off, we're starting with a dry season. So as you can see by the best picks and bans, Brock, even with the nerf, I'm still seeing people just ban him religiously, like every single mode and map. I just see Brock being banned still. I'm not too sure whether he's as OP as people think, but clearly in Power League, people still think he's one of the best brawlers. So especially on Bounty, I'll actually give him that. Brock still is really good. So Brock, if he's not banned, make sure to pick him up. And obviously if the first if the opponent has first pick, I still would ban that Tick. Tick is just pretty much good against everything right now. Really good on this map because obviously once you get that first star, dry season, I'll always say it's still in the Power League rotation, and you guys should know the strategy by now. It's all about that first engagement, and once you get that first star, hopefully, or get the first few trade-offs, you should just be sitting back defensively, letting the opponents come to you, sitting behind the walls, and trying to pick them off once at a time. So you can see by the compositions, like Leon is actually a secretly really strong brawler on this map, especially with a lollipop drop. It can give you really good flexibility for that first star with the gadget, with your mid as well. You and your mid are invisible. It's really, really good. Byron, pretty much good everywhere right now. You can play Byron as a mid or a lane, really, really strong. You got Ruffs. Ruffs is pretty much good against everything. Again, if you use the HP star power, you can give a lot of HP to the brawlers around you. Piper, pretty good. Wouldn't really pick it as a first pick, but definitely like a good counter. If like the enemy team goes like a Byron or a Bell or a Brock, Piper's going to be an insane counter against that. Sprout's going to be a good last pick. Stu can be okay if there's no other options. Same with Jean, same with Nanny. Those are going to be the best picks for dry season. Alright guys, next up we have Hideout. So Hideout was a bit of a weird one when I first started playing it. I didn't really understand it at first, but it's just like most bounty maps. It's just all long range brawlers really, but I think Leon's insanely good on this map because you can put that gadget really far back and give a lot of value to your team. But again, Tick's going to be the best brawler on this map just because of the area of denial he can provide and just sitting behind a wall. If the enemy team don't have like a wall break or throw themselves, and Tick is going to be super toxic. So you can see the best bans and picks. Brock, again, just going to be insane. Like his gadget can basically break open the whole map. Like 3 gadgets can near enough break open the entire midsection. And then as you see, there's a lot of open space on this map. So it's going to be heavily dominated by those long range brawlers. So Piper, going to be absolutely insane on this map because you can easily one-tap someone and gadget them. Same with Brock. Bell going to be insane on this map. Byron going to be really good in helping brawlers push up, like a Byron in the mid, allowing like your lane brawlers to push up, just giving them a few heals, should be able to win your matchup. Nanny going to be insane on Bounty because of that gadget. Sprout going to be pretty good, again, as more so as a last pick, in case like the enemy team got like an aggro brawler like Mortis or Buzz. And then you've got the likes of Jean, Mr. P, and Max. So we don't really see them used typically too much, but maybe if some of the other brawlers are banned, you might have to use them. That's going to be Hideout. They're the best picks. Alright guys, so the final bounty map, we have Layer Cake. So Layer Cake, again, just like all of your other bounty maps, just the same old meta for me. Tick gonna be the best one. Brock, again, with his gadget, being able to break open certain parts of the map with that gadget, gonna be really crucial, especially like in their midsection. There's literally like there's like a big piece of wall. You can literally open that all up with one gadget down that left hand side mid bit, and then the right hand side as well. You can literally open the entire mid of their section with 2 Brock gadgets, which is pretty insane. So Bell's gonna be really good as a mid or a lane. Piper, again, if they get like a Bell or a Brock on the enemy team or a Byron, Piper's always going to be that good counter pick. Leon, again, just going to be really good at like just being an assassin, obviously, putting that gadget down the lane, allowing your mid to be invisible as well. It's really going to help you in those matchups. Sprout, again, just really good in bounty, but always be aware of the counter picks with Sprout. It's not really one of those brawlers where you can just pick it regardless. You got to be looking to pick that towards the end stage. Mortis is going to be insane as well, but as always, I always recommend with Power League in general, like Mortis and Buzz are some of the best brawlers in the game. Definitely like top 10 brawlers in my opinion, if not top 5. But in Power League, it's kind of easy to counter assassin brawlers, so you've got to always try and pick those assassin brawlers towards the end of the pick stage, so don't really get countered too hard. and then you can just see the rest of the brawlers again, very there in case you don't get any of the better ones. Alright guys, so next up we have Brawl, starting off with Backyard Boul. So dreaded map is back in Power League, and you guys are probably going to share my frustration with this map. This map tends to end in a draw, I would say. Every single time I've played it in Power League this season already, I think there's been at least 2 draws, so beware of that one. It's going to be a really defensive map, so that's why Brock, I think, is the best pick. Most people tend to ban him, because what you can do easily, you can see them 2 walls on the enemy side. You can use a gadget on each of those walls, and it's going to be a lot easier to score and break the defenses. So that's why Brock is so strong. Make sure you're picking him first if he's available. If the enemy team has that first pick, make sure you're banning that Brock. He's super strong in this meta. So Leon is going to be absolutely insane in this meta. If they don't have like a Brock on their enemy team, then Leon's going to be insane. You just put that lollipop drop on either side of the wall, and it's just going to be amazing. It's going to be so hard for the enemy team to actually take you down if you have like a strong mid, like a Byron, Piper, or a Bell in the middle, and then you have Leon on the lane. It's just such a good synergy together. Spike is absolutely insane on this map. He counters most of the longer range brawlers on the lane, so Spike definitely one of those first picks you want to be getting. So Bell's going to be insane. I won't really pick Bell at the start. I know I've got it like at the start of the next best picks, because you can easily counter with like a Piper. So for me, again, I would kind of leave the mid brawlers till last, because it's easy just to go Bell or Piper, right? You can just go one or the other. Byron's going to be insane either as a mid or a lane. You necessarily don't have to use him as a mid. I think most people on this map in competitive actually use Byron as a lane, because it's just really good at giving just heals to everyone, and it can be really good once you get your splash. You can push up, destroy the lollipop drop, or just obviously kill the enemy team. Sprout, good last pick, especially face off against like a Leon, for example. If you have overgrowth, you can actually destroy the gadget over the wall, so that's a really good strategy there. Jean can be good as a mid or a lane, just providing heals, allowing your team to push up. Pam's especially good when you have like a Byron behind her. There's not really a lot that can take her down. I think the only counter to a Pam I was saying in this meta is like a Bell. That's the only brawler I won't pick Pam into, but Pam is really, really dominant. Stu can be okay with that first gadget, giving your teammates some speed. Those are going to be the best picks for Backyard Boul. Let's jump into the next map. Alright guys, moving on to the next Brawl map, we have Pinball Dreams. So just like the old meta, I really don't think anything has changed in this meta really at all, except for Brock. Maybe I'm still seeing again just Brock being banned straight away. Maybe Brock's just broken the meta still, even after the nerf. Everyone just seems to ban him no matter what, but Brock's going to be insane here just because you can use his gadgets, break open the left and right lane. But I still think Barley is that #1 pick. Obviously, you got to kind of consider whether they have Brock in play. You of course don't want to go Barley if the enemy team has like a wall break option. But other than that, Barley's going to be absolutely insane. So if the enemy team gets that Barley pick and you haven't got Brock or wall break, you can easily pick Dana towards the end of the picks. That's a really good counter pick if you guys are wondering. Everything else, Barley just seems to beat lanes. So it's either like a wall break or a dynamite, and you should be good against that Barley if they seem to get it. So Sandy's a really good first pick. Sandy's just insane in this meta. Not really many brawlers that counter Sandy, so always one of those good first picks because it's not easily counterable. Spike, really, really good down the lane on this map. Again, you got to be kind of careful. You don't really want to pick Spike into like a thrower because of how squishy Spike is, but everything else Spike should be pretty good against. Again, the mid brawlers, I won't really touch towards the end because you've got B or Bell, and most of the time Bell will be beating B in that mid interaction, but both are just as good as each other, so you kind of don't want to touch the mid brawlers to begin with. And then next up we have like a Tara and an M. So M's does counter Tara, but Tara just really good at providing pressure with that gadget, and then once she gets a super, you can easily push up and probably get a goal out of it. Surge pretty decent. Stu gonna be really strong, but the thing about Stu, you don't want to pick him towards the beginning because he does get countered by the likes of Sandy, Tara, Spike. You don't want to pick Stu into any of those brawlers, but obviously if they don't pick any of those, Stu's going to be absolutely insane. So those are going to be the best picks for Pinball Dreams. Alright guys, so lastly into Super Stadium. So again, the same kind of meta. Don't really think I've changed too much here. So Barley's probably going to be the best pick for me. I don't think Brock's good enough for this map. I think before the nerf, Brock was just usable everywhere. He definitely would have been strong on this map, but I don't think he's good enough here. I might be wrong, but I don't think he's one of the strongest brawlers. I think Barley, Spike, and Sandy are your safe options here. So if the enemy team has that first pick, do not allow them to get Barley. Just get him out of the equation. He's just too strong, especially if he has a super on this map. You can easily flush back the opponents like 1 or 2 lanes and get an easy goal. Barley's insane on this map. Sandy just really strong down the lanes as well. Spike a good alternative pick as well. So again, with the mid brawlers, I think there's only 2 main picks you can pick on this map, a B and a Bell, so make sure you're picking those towards the end because both are as good as each other. Of course, you can maybe pick like a Max or a Gene if you're feeling a little bit fancy, but those two mid brawlers definitely going to be the best. So for lane brawlers, other than the Spike, Sandy, and Barley, it can be kind of hard to pick. It just depends on what you're facing off against. So maybe if the enemy team goes for like a Spike, for example, I probably wouldn't look at picking like a Surge or a Stu, because obviously you get countered by the gadgets. So probably pick like a Nita or like a Squeak or something that's going to kill Spike pretty easily. Again, like Dynamite is honestly like a decent pick towards the end of it, because you could destroy brawlers like Spike quite easily. Surge is going to be a really good pick, especially if you can get those TPs pretty well. Nita just going to be good at wall peeking on this map, always really strong. I'll put Byron in there just because he's just really strong in this meta. The same with like Mortis as well. Mortis can be really good counter pick to the likes of Sandy, to the likes of Barley. So those are going to be the best picks for Brawl. Alright guys, so now starting off with Crystal Arcade on Gem Grabs. So as you can see by the picks, again, I don't think too much has really changed from the last meta. If I'm really thinking back, the only thing I think of again is the Brock. So Brock's going to be insane on this map, because again, you can just use one gadget to break open the whole lane. But I feel like he's a tad overrated. Still, people tend to ban him all the time. I feel like he's going to slowly slip out of the meta a little bit. For me, I just think once you lose like pressure once with Brock, once you get rid of all your gadgets, I don't think he's like the strongest brawler, especially against like a Sandy, for example. Sandy can just absolutely destroy him down the lane once you get in position. But yeah, anyways, you can see by the best picks, I feel like Spike is going to be beating every single lane in the game. I think the hardest counter to Spike is probably Brock, because Brock can two-tap him. Everything else, Spike should be having a good time against. Really strong on inside the gem grab meta, especially with Curveball and that new gadget. So Sandy going to be really insane against everything. I feel like that's one of the brawlers which you can always depend on in Brawl Ball and gem grab. Bell going to be insane down the middle as well, especially with the traps in gem grab. I do say most of the time like you can just go Piper to counter Bell, but I feel like the traps are just really strong, especially in them game-changing moments. For example, say the game's really close and the enemy team needs to pick up that gem, they have to go into the trap. It's just a really vital thing about gem grab for me when you're playing Bell. So next up we have the likes of Tara. Tara really good with the pets, just an amazing brawler in gem grab right now. Sprout's going to be a really strong pick. Again, I probably wouldn't think of picking him towards the beginning, but on this map especially, you can put your walls in really toxic positions and you can easily pinch your lane with your teammates as well. This map is all about winning lane. As a mid, you've got to definitely help out your teammates winning their lane first before you even think about your mid interaction. So definitely Sprout's going to be the best option for that. Pam's just going to be solid overall. Stu obviously a little bit dependent on what lanes you're facing off against. Not really going to be good against the likes of a Spike or a Tara, so got to be careful of that. Piper going to be a good counter pick to Bell. The likes of Rico. Rico's pretty strong because once you win your lane once, it's going to be near to impossible to take Rico out of that position. But obviously it's just all about winning that first engagement. And Leon's strong as well. So that's going to be Crystal Arcade. Let's hop into the next one. Alright guys, so next up we have Hard Rock Mining. As you can see by the best picks and bans again, not really too much has changed on this map. So Rico's still going to be insane even with that gadget nerf on this map. This map was just kind of made for Rico, so one of those brawlers which can't really be countered too hard. So Sandy's going to be again one of those brawlers which I always just pick first pick if I have it, just because there's not really too many counter picks towards it. And then Bella as well, just in gem grab, just a really strong brawler. So Brock, I see again people tending to ban near enough every single time. Again, I feel like he's pretty strong, but still at the same time, if you're facing off against like a Sandy lane or any sort of aggro, it's kind of hard for Brock to deal with. But his damage output overall is just pretty insane. It kind of depends how you play it. Ruff's going to be insane on this map, in my opinion. I think this is probably the best Ruff's map, because you can easily just play defensive with your sandbags and get your super, give it to your mid, and your mid's going to be winning their engagement much easier. So Ruff's definitely a solid pick. Pam's going to be really insane if you get like a Byron Pam synergy going. It's going to be really strong. Leon going to be insane if you get that gadget far back, giving it to your mid. Leon's going to be really strong. You got like some Mortis, 8-bit. So for example, if the enemy team goes like some aggro brawlers and you've still got mid to pick, 8-bit can be really good. And even down the lane as well, 8-bit pretty underrated in this meta. So that's going to be Hard Rock Mine right there. Let's jump into the final. All right guys, so going into the final gem grab map, we have Undermine. I feel like this meta is near enough exactly the same as Crystal Arcade. So the thing about this map again is your lanes. It's incredibly hard to win back your lane if you lose it once. So you really got to focus on that first interaction. A lot of times as a mid, if I'm playing a mid, I will just go down one of your teammates' lanes, try and win that lane, and then they should realistically not lose their lane again. It's so hard to actually win back on Undermine and Crystal Arcade. So yeah, as you can see by these picks, these are going to be the best brawlers to use. Spike and Sandy, again, those two brawlers are going to be insane down the lane, especially Spike. Spike can just be so good at chipping down the mid and just winning your lane in general. Really good at scouting the grass. Sandy just going to be insane for pressure, and Brock just really good good at opening up things, and especially in that first engagement, if you can just gadget them and tap them a few times, they're more likely going to die. It's going to be really easy to for Brock to get that kill. So Boul going to be insane as well. Again, I'll just leave the mid towards the end. There's multiple options you can use to counter the lane brawlers, so definitely pick those towards the end. You've got the likes of Sprout, who can be really strong at pinching lane on this map. His walls can be insanely toxic on this map as well. Just block off so many choke points and just force them into uncomfortable positions. Piper going to be a good counter to the Bell. You got Tara with the pets, just insane on this map, pushing the enemy team back. Amber's going to be insane on this map because you've got her super that can break open the grass, and a good counter to Tara as well. So if the enemy team goes Tara, make sure you go an Amber, really good counter. Stu again can be good, but you got to be careful of the meta brawlers on this map. Unfortunately, like Tara, Spike, Sandy, 3 brawlers that just hard counters Stu, so you got to be careful with that one, and then all the other picks as well. So that's going to be gem grab right there. Let's hop into the next game mode. All right, guys, and now going into high, starting off with the new map, Bridge Too Far. So Bridge Too Far, I feel like it's a fun map to play, especially on Power League and Ladder. I don't know about competitive, but definitely really fun in Power League. But anyways, Bridge Too Far is all about long range brawlers. So I also forgot in this graphic, by the way, Bell is one of the best brawlers on this map. For some reason, I just completely forgot on the graphic whilst looking back at this. So make sure you're using Bell as well. One of the best brawlers on this map for sure. But as you see by their best 3 brawlers, you have Brock, Byron, and Colt. So Byron's really good because you can just give heals to your lane. Just really strong brawler overall right now. Brock just insane with his gadget, and the damage output and heist is just really crazy. Colt is actually insane on this map, by the way. You can easily, because of how like close in the lanes are, with Colt, it's just easy to hit your shots with, and then once obviously you kill your lane brawler, you can easily just get a lot of damage on this save. So that's why Colt and Brock are probably the best 2 brawlers on Bridge Too Far, in my opinion. Anyways, and from personal experience, I feel like these 2 brawlers are really strong. So Sprout is a really solid pick. I feel like, again, it's got a bit of a high skill cap in my opinion. So but if you can pull off Sprout really well, I feel like he should be able to beat near enough every single brawler on the lane, and especially with his wall. Like, you get your wall once, it's insane. You can control 2 lanes at once. You can just throw a wall on your lane and you can shoot out on the other lane, help your teammate out. It's just really good. Use that overgrowth star power, you're going to be having a good time. Piper really good with her gadget. Nanny just really good. You just got to think of all the long range brawlers here, and I've put it in order which I think you should be getting the most success with, except for Bell. Probably would put Bell probably just above Nanny if you're thinking about that. So yeah, that's going to be the next best picks and all the best picks for Bridge Too Far. Let's jump into the next one. Okay, so next up in Heist, we have Hot Potato. So the Hot Potato meta, again, not really changed too much from last time, except for that Brock. I feel like Brock is the best pick on this map now, and a lot of people just ban it straight away. So if Brock is banned, then Barley's going to be the best brawler on this map. But if that Brock's in play, probably would try and stay away from that Barley, because those mid walls are going to be opened up really easily, and it might be really hard for Barley to thrive. And then Rico is just a really solid option overall for like against literally anything. Rico's going to be really strong against. So as you can see in the mid, I feel like now in this meta, especially if you've got Brock to open up the walls, but anyways, just in general, even if it's like Barley in play, I think Bell is the best brawler in mid now. The main reason it is because Bell's traps are just really strong in the middle, and Bell kind of does counter Bell counters Colette, sorry. So Bell really strong in that middle, especially if you get that super onto the Colette. Gonna be a really easy takedown, which I really didn't think the meta would change too much in Hot Potato, but that Bell is stronger than Colette in mid. But there's the 2 best mids. Maybe you can opt for like a Jessie in the middle. Maybe if like the enemy team goes like a Ruffs or something, that might be a good option. But other than that, those are going to be the best middle brawlers. So Edgar actually really strong on Hot Potato and in the highest meta at the moment, especially if they have a Rico on their team. I feel like you can just pick Edgar just if they have a Rico on their team. You can just stick to him like glue, and you're going to be having an amazing game because you're going to be able to kill Rico every single time. It's so easy to get a kill on him, and especially if the enemy team go like a Ruffs or like a Dynamite or like a Barley as well, Edgar's going to have a lot of fun time. So Edgar really strong on this map. Ruff's just good overall. Spike good overall. Got to be careful of the throw brawlers. Dynamite a really solid last pick on this map. So that's going to be Hot Potato right there. Let's jump into the next one. All right, guys. So moving on to the final map for Heist, we have Pit Stop. So Pit Stop, again, the same kind of meta really. I think Rico, Barley, and Spike are going to be your best options for sure. Brock can be an okay pick on this map. Definitely wouldn't be one of my first options. So Ems, surprisingly, is a really strong pick on this map. I feel like her damage output is pretty underrated, especially in game modes like Heist, and I feel like she counters a lot of the aggro brawlers, so just a really good option as well. I feel like the walls just suit her on this map for whatever reason. Just whenever I play Ems or against Ems, it's just really strong. So Ems going to be one of the best picks. Boul still going to be insanely good, even if they have like 3 hard counters. Just the pressure he has on the map is just absolutely insane. You're always going to have to force out 2 people to pinch you out, and a lot of the times you can get in on that safe and deal a lot of damage. So Boul going to be really strong. Agar again, this Agar's just going to be really good because you got the likes of Ems, you got the likes of Rico and Barley. Agar just hard counter those brawlers, and Agar got that buff, which is secretly pretty strong. I would say it's pretty strong. Nita, really good option in this map. Stu, just good overall. And then you got the likes of Dynamite, BB as the last pick. So that is going to be a pit stop right there. Let's move into the final game mode. Okay, guys, so moving on to the final game mode, we have Hot Zone, starting off with dueling beetles. So again, I don't think the meta's changed too much. I keep saying that, but it really hasn't changed too much. Other than Leon, Lollipop, really strong. Bell, just a really good option. Don't think too many brawlers actually counter Bell on this map. And Stu, I've still got Stu as one of the best brawlers on this map, mainly because of his gadget. You can put that gadget in the back and it's going to be really strong, and Stu in the 1v1 interaction is going to be really good. So Brock, again, with that gadget, going to be super strong. Byron, just going to be insane down the lane or the mid. I just feel like Byron's one of the brawlers you can't really counter again, and just a really solid option, helping your teammates push up with those heals. So if you can hit those heals on your teammates, pick that Byron, it's going to be really strong. Sandy can be really good if you push up to the enemy's walls. It can be insanely frustrating to actually pinch out Sandy, and even if you're looking to pinch out Sandy, they can just stun you and confirm a kill pretty easily. So Sandy going to be strong. Pam going to be insane with that Byron synergy. Squeak just going to be really good on Hot Zone, especially with that super. Amber, Lou, Mortis, all of these brawlers just really good on dueling beetles. Let's hop into the next map. Okay, so next up we have parallel plays. The same really stuff as before, because you've got the likes of Leon. Leon's been insane on Hot Zone. I've always said the best brawler on inside of Hot Zone, just insane with that lollipop drop. For the most part, I will be putting that lollipop drop behind that right wall, and it's going to be really good for Leon to sneak into the right hand side grass, and also for your mid to push up and destroy the enemy team. So yeah, Leon, always make sure you get that first pick. Bell going to be insane because basically you can put Bell on all 3 lanes. For the most part, I will be putting Bell down the middle, just because she's just really good at pinching down the left hand grass, and also at helping your teammate push up as well. Bell going to be really good. Byron, just insane, especially once you work towards that splash. A lot of the times you can easily get an enemy weak and just splash them on this map. It's pretty insane what you can do with Byron. So Jesse, Spike, Amber going to be really good alternative picks as well, because they're just really flexible. You got the likes of Jesse, you can go all 3 lanes. You've got lots of Spike, who's more so better on defensive lane, especially if you're facing off against a Leon. But definitely, I feel like Spike is good offensive lane as well. Amber, really good, especially if you use a gadget correctly. You can honestly get really good kills with Amber with that gadget. You can just pounce on them, especially if they haven't got that ammo. You can just auto aim your way to getting a kill. And next up we got Stu, Brock, you know, just got the same old picks with parallel plays, so not really too much has changed on this map. The same kind of strategies and meta, so that's going to be parallel plays right there. Let's jump into the final map. Okay guys, so moving on to the final map of the video, we have Ring of Fire. So again, the best picks are Bella and Leon. Are you guys surprised by now? Probably not. Leon, insane on this map. I always use in competitive. Absolutely a menace to the enemy team. Basically, the way you want to be playing Leon is not stay down your lanes. So you obviously want to put the lollipop drop down that left L wall, but just make sure you're making it messy. Make sure you're always unpredictable with Leon. Just creating absolute havoc. Always try and get behind the enemy lines and just take down their mid brawler. It's going to be insane, especially if you can chain those supers. So yeah, Leon going to be insane. Bell, I would just pick most of the time again, because those traps in the middle are just really vital for getting control back. Brock's just going to be really good to gain control as well, especially at the beginning with those gadgets. And then Stu, pretty insane lane brawler. Byron, you don't even need to play as a mid on this map. Again, you can easily play a lot of times in competitive. I'll just play Byron on the right side, very defensively. Just make sure no one gets into that grass, and also heal up your mid brawler. Byron is pretty insane here. Crow, just really good with his slows, and especially if you're facing like a healer comp, like a Pam or a Byron, bring that Crow out. You're going to be an absolute menace, and with those slows, going to be able to get some easy kills. And again, Rico going to be insane on this map because of the small choke points down the lane. With your healing, it's going to be really hard to confirm the kill on Rico. The only downside to Rico is that sometimes you might struggle to get some percentage time, especially if the enemy team just keeps going mid. But other than that, Rico is a solid pick. And then Pam, insane in this meta. Amber, really good on Hot Zone. Same with Sandy and Squeak. So those are going to be the best picks for all of these maps. Alright guys, that's going to be it for today's video. Let me know down in the comment section below whether this guide has helped you out. I will, of course, if the meta changes in the next 2 weeks or so, I will be updating the guide as much as possible, helping you guys push as high as possible in Power League. So yeah, that's going to be it for today's video, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Probably won't be a video tomorrow because I'll be playing it in the monthly finals, and hopefully we can work our way to securing a world spot. So thank you guys for the support as usual. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.